What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 most heavily shorted EVs in the market as of right now. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, we have Polestar. And so I've been doing this type of video for a while now, and I don't believe Polestar has ever made the list. So it is currently the 5th most heavily shorted EV in the market. One thing on a side note I do want to bring up is I'm only going to be covering stocks that have a market cap above 100 mil, only because when you get kind of lower to that territory, you get to a lot of excessive dilution and blah blah blah. It's not really a good scenario. So again, I'm going to be only looking at stocks with a 100 mil market cap or greater. So moving on to Polestar, sitting at $1.12 over the last 1 year, it is up 25.81%, and then over the last 1 month up 5.16. A lot of good information here. So you can feel free to pause it and go through it, such as market cap, 52 range and volume from the last trading day. But as of right now, we're here because of this. So 11.15% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 44.31 million shares overall are being shorted. A lot of good information up top here that I'm not necessarily going to bring up in every case, but short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And that is sitting at 88.58. DTC is also something to be aware of. So the higher the number, the higher the magnitude of a squeeze, because that does factor in the stock's average volume in comparison to how many shares are being shorted. You can kind of see that shorts, for whatever reason, did peak. It looks like on May the 14th. They returned a significant amount. Of course, that did add in Polestar really pushing higher. A lot of good recent momentum. So it does look like it kind of reached a bottom of on June the 19th. But since then, shorts really doubled down. So for those of you that are familiar with Polestar's operations, was there something that did come out to justify this doubling down and them increasing, or is that just due to geopolitical type of scenarios? So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Polestar in the comments below. So this is the 5th most heavily shorted stock. Moving on to the 4th, we have NIO. So 351 is where it closed on Thursday. Over the last 1 year, it is down 27.93%, and then over the last 1 month, gaining a little bit of momentum, up 1.45%. As of right now, 13.46% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 207 million shares overall are being shorted. Short score, very high as well, 84.64, DTC 5.46. Shorts, honestly, have been really playing some weird game with NIO for whatever reason. So from this yellow line right here, and don't ask me why Ortex changes the colors on every single one of these charts. I have absolutely no clue, but nonetheless, shorts did return a significant amount from looks like April 8th to looks May the 16th. During that time frame as well, NIO stock price did really pull back, so it's a very unfortunate type of scenario. The fact that shorts can return and the stock price still did go down. I think a lot of that does stem from just the geopolitical issues that is arising surrounding China and the States and so forth. But since then, shorts have been really kind of all over the place, increasing kind of in stages, returning. So I think they are playing quite the significant game with NIO. And also on a side note, they actually do make up a good chunk of NIO's daily volume. So something to somewhat keep in mind. Aside from that, moving on to the next one, we have RIVN sitting at 1307. Over the last 1 year, it is down 10.78%. And then over the last 1 month, down 10.05%. Currently, 16.62% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 153.09 million shares. Short score, 72.53, kind of low for that. And then DTC is 5 days. So it seems to be a very common thing, the fact that shorts are very overextended so far with all of these stocks. But as far as right now, from what you can see from this kind of purple line, shorts have been actually returning. Looks as though from May the 26th to the present. Again, for those of you that are familiar with Rivian's operations, is there something that did come out to justify that? I know that does kind of contradict what's been happening with the stock price, so it looks as though that shorts have been taking advantage of Rivian's pullback and returning some shares, which is kind of an interesting type of scenario. So Rivian is the third most heavily shorted EV in the market. Moving on to the second one, you do have Faraday sitting at $1.89, did go up 15.95% alone on Thursday. Over the last 1 year, down 88.86%, so not necessarily the best. Over the last 1 month though, it is up 51.2%. So the market cap 186, I know at the low was 83 cents. So it was briefly below that 100 mil market cap, but like I said, it's been building up some pretty good momentum, a lot of good operational updates. I finally did a update video on Faraday under one of my other YouTube channels, and things are actually looking pretty good. Cautiously optimistic, of course, because they do have a lot of convertible debt. But aside from that, 29.51% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 27.32 million shares overall are being shorted. So when it comes down to shorts, they have really been starting to double down, and kind of matches with the actual stock price. So shorts looks like June the 17th, that was the recent low. So they've been really reactive to the stock price. DTC 3.16 days, short score is 82.15. So when it comes down to any stock, even outside of EVs, in order for you to have a squeeze, ultimately you do need a good catalyst, and it has to be kind of a surprise catalyst. It can't just be something that's well known, because if everyone knows of something that's coming out, such as, let's say, an earnings, shorts and also longs, they can start to kind of cut and mitigate some risk, right? So for instance, if shorts know that a stock has a good catalyst and in theory it's going to move higher, they can start returning ahead of time. Whereas if it's a surprise catalyst, it catches everyone off guard. Longs, shorts, everyone. And of course, that's where you kind of get panic, and yeah, that's how you guys squeeze. So this is the second most heavily shorted EV in the market as of right now. And then moving on to the first one, obviously I'm pretty sure everyone knows this at this stage in the game because it's been number one for quite some time. That is Lucid, sitting at 216 over the last 1 year, down 26.78%, and then over the last 1 month, down 1.37. As of right now, 33.33% of the free float's being shorted, so all-time high short interest numbers. That works out to be 410.97 million shares overall are being shorted. Short score is 80.83, DTC 3.15, and shorts, as you can kind of see, have been really doubling down. So this is officially that all-time high short interest for Lucid. So it's very interesting. Every single one of these stocks I've talked on, shorts are very overextended, and again, you can tell that based on the DTC. So yeah, it's a very interesting type of scenario. Do you think that the broader EV sector is going to recover, and potentially when? I know a lot of the American stocks are going to get influenced based on Trump's new tax bill. As some say it's positive, some say it's negative. There was a recent analyst, I think it was BNP, and they did state that both Rivian and Lucid are going to benefit from that. So it's kind of an interesting scenario, and I think a lot of the Chinese EVs, more specifically NIO, is just trading at a mind-blowing discount. So yeah, what's your viewpoint? Are you in any of these stocks? If so, give yourself a shout out in the comments below. And are you in it because of the operations, or do you want a squeeze? So what's your kind of thoughts? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I do give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. Some actually even just over the last 2 weeks have doubled. Some have even quadrupled. So it's definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.